chance. They make you wanna take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. That's why make music. That's damnation. Damnation in France. That's Willamette. Warm cookies. If you're doing it professionally. WDM Nation Media. Think Tim. Tell me what you think about that. Wearing all the hats, curator of the undefined, speaker of the funk, driver of the car, the one who told you you could be what you want, whatever you want, you can be a star. We're talking to you. WDMN, Willamette, Big Tim, Damnation. We are talking to you. Peace and be well.
Welcome back to Why Make Music. I'm Willamette, and today we're talking about something that quietly follows every one of us around like a shadow. Perception versus reality. Now here's the funny thing. Most of us spend our entire lives believing those two things are the same. They're not even close. Because reality is what actually happened. Perception is what people think happened. Reality is what exists. Perception is the story. Attached to it, reality is the event. Perception is the interpretation. And sometimes those two things are standing so far apart they can't even see each other anymore. Think about it. A musician spends 6 months crafting a song, pouring emotion into it, rewriting lyrics, tweaking melodies, recording vocals, mixing, mastering, and obsessing over details nobody else will ever notice. Then the song comes out, and someone hears it once, one time, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and suddenly they decide what the song means, not what the artist meant, what they think it. Perception versus reality. And honestly, neither one is wrong, because once art leaves the creator's hands, it begins a second life. A life the creator no longer controls. A painting means one thing to the painter, something else to the collector, and something completely different to the person who sees it hanging in a hallway 20 years later. The same piece. 3 realities. 3 perceptions. All existing at the same time. That's the strange magic of being human. We don't experience reality directly. We experience our interpretation of reality. And that's where things get interesting, because perception shapes almost everything. Politics, religion, music, money, relationships, success, failure, and even our memories. Especially our memories. You ever notice how 2 people can experience the exact same event and tell completely different stories about it later? One remembers triumph, the other remembers disappointment. One remembers kindness, the other remembers rejection. Same moment, different perception. And somewhere in the middle sits reality, quietly minding its own business. I started thinking about this recently while looking at numbers. Views, streams, followers, likes, comments, all the digital breadcrumbs we're told are important. You can have millions of views and feel invisible. You can have 500 followers and impact somebody's life. You can have a viral post that changes absolutely nothing. Or a conversation with one person that changes everything. Perception says, bigger is better. Reality says, maybe not. Maybe the value was never in the number at all. Maybe the value was in the connection. Maybe we've become so obsessed with measuring things that we've forgotten how to feel them. Because numbers are easy, meaning is harder. And that's where today's conversation begins not with answers, but with questions. Questions about what we believe, what we see, what we assume, and whether we're actually experiencing reality or merely our version of it. Today we'll talk about artists and audiences, ideas and immortality, social, media and identity, technology and generations, prints, philosophers, gardens, algorithms, and artificial intelligence, and maybe most importantly, the stories we tell ourselves. Because perception isn't just something we project onto the world, it's something we project onto ourselves, who we think we are, who we think we're becoming, who we think we've failed to become. Sometimes, the biggest gap between perception and reality isn't out there. It's in here, right between our ears. So grab a cup of coffee, take a walk, work on your next song, pull some weeds, plant some seeds, or simply sit for a while and think, because today's episode isn't really about perception, and it isn't really about reality. It's about the distance between them, and what happens when we finally notice the gap. This is Why I Make Music, and today we're talking about perception versus reality.
Yeah. Zoom out for a second. You keep tripping over crumbs while the table's right there. Yeah. You busy counting likes, I'm counting hours put in. They sell you motivation, I sell you discipline. Every scroll another promise, every promise feels free. But attention is a tax, they keep collecting from dreams. You say you're working on it, yeah, that phrase sound nice. But effort ain't currency, results set the price. Everybody wants a shortcut, everybody in a rush. Funny how the loudest talkers never build much. Never build much. Focus, fracture, vision blurry. Too much noise, not enough nerve. If distraction pay dividends, you'd already own the world. This the big picture. Zoom out, stay driven. Yeah. Dreams don't move cause you want them, they move cause you didn't quit living. This the big picture. No smoke, no mirror. Every step you don't take makes the destination simpler. They romanticize the grind but skip the boring part. The reps when nobody's clapping, the quiet broken starts. You chase the feeling of someday, I chase the calendar. Cause time don't wait for talent, it respects the stamina. False idols in your speakers, false goals in your feet. They monetize your doubt, sell it back as belief. You mistaken movement for progress, busy don't mean free. If you ain't steering the wheel, you just riding the street. Every excuse feels honest till the years start talking back. A dream delayed long enough turns into a fact. You lag, this the big picture. Zoom out, stay driven. Zoom out, stay driven. Stay driven. Dreams don't move cause you want them, they move cause you didn't quit living. This the big picture. Truth hit different. You don't find purpose waiting, you earn it. Well, implement, yeah. They told you wait your turn. Never told you who's in line, they told you trust the process. Never told you who owns time, every almost got a reason. Every later got a sound, it's the echo of potential. Never planted in the ground, you argue with reality. Negotiate with fear, but the dream don't need excuses. It needs you present here, say it louder for your habits. Write it somewhere you can see, there is no try, only do. Ain't no quote, it's policy, only do. This the big picture, no edits, no filters. You either move with intention or you get moved by the system. Distractions dressed as blessings, comfort calling your name. But the cost of staying ready is losing people who stay the same. They'll cheer you when it's trendy, they'll vanish vanish when it's real. Funny how belief get quiet when you sharpening your will. You don't need another sign, don't need stars to align. You need Tuesday discipline and Thursday follow through time. Every dream that ever mattered felt lonely in the build. That's how you know it's yours when it's asking for your will. If you see it clearly now, you're ready late to pretend. The moment you stop wishing is the moment it begins. No capes, no saviors, no heroes in sight. Just habits stacking quietly while you sleep at night. They glorify the finish line, ignore the miles in between. The muscle memory of effort don't come from a dream. You want proof before commitment, that's backwards math. Faith ain't spiritual, it's action over stats. Every what if costs interest, every maybe got fees. The price of not deciding is a life on your knees. You study everybody's blueprint, never lay in your brick. Confuse inspiration with heavy core paralysis. Strategic, the gap between vision and victory ain't talent or luck. It's the moment you stop asking and just did the work. No try, only do every day. That's uncomfortable, it's proof it's working on you. No try, nobody coming to validate the plan. The big picture only clears up when you stand where you stand. This a big picture, zoom out, stay driven. Dreams don't move cause you want them, they move cause you didn't quit living. Cause you quit living. It's the big picture, earn not giving. There is no try.
Let's start with an old story. A really old story. Over 2,000 years old. A philosopher named Plato imagined a group of people sitting inside a cave. They had been there their entire lives. Chained, unable to turn around, only able to see the wall in front of them. Behind them was a fire. Between the fire and the prisoners were people carrying objects. The prisoners couldn't see the objects. They could only see the shadows cast onto the cave wall, so naturally, they believed the shadows were reality. How could they not? That's all they had ever known. Now imagine one prisoner escapes. He leaves the cave. He sees the actual world, the sky, the trees, the sun, real objects instead of shadows. Then he returns to tell everyone, and nobody believes him. In fact, they think he's crazy. Funny how that works? Because sometimes people become so comfortable with perception that reality feels threatening. And before anybody starts thinking this is some deep philosophical lecture, let's talk about social media. Because if Plato were alive today, I think he'd be absolutely fascinated. And probably horrified. Because we've built the world's largest cave, and we carry it around in our pockets. Think about it. Most of what we know about most people comes from carefully selected moments. Vacation photos, promotional videos, celebration, posts, accomplishments, announcements, and highlights. Very few people post the boring Tuesday afternoon, the disappointment, the uncertainty, the rejection email, the failed project, the song nobody listened to, the business idea that never worked, the argument, the anxiety, the self-doubt. Those things exist. They're real, but they rarely become part of the presentation. So we scroll through thousands of carefully edited moments, then compare them against our unedited reality, and somehow convince ourselves we're losing. That's a dangerous game, because perception can become a product, and products are designed to be attractive. Artists do it, businesses do it, brands do it, politicians do it, influencers do it, everybody does it. Even this podcast does it. You don't hear every mistake. You don't hear every false start. You don't hear the hours spent editing. You hear the finished version, the presentation, the polished outcome, the perception. And that's okay as long as we remember that's what it is. The trouble starts when we mistake the presentation for the whole story, because the reality is usually messier. And honestly, that's where the good stuff lives. The struggle, the growth, the experimentation, the uncertainty. That's where music comes from. That's where art comes from. That's where innovation comes from. Nobody creates something meaningful from a position of perfect certainty. They're figuring it out as they go, just like everyone else. And maybe that's the first lesson today. Not everything that looks successful is successful. Not everything that looks broken is broken. Not everything that appears valuable has value. And not everything overlooked is insignificant. Sometimes perception is accurate. Sometimes it's completely wrong. Most of the time it's somewhere in between. So, before we move forward, here's a question. How much of what you believe about yourself comes from reality? And how much comes from shadows on the wall? Because the answer to that question might explain more than you think. Coming up, we'll talk about artists, audiences, and why the creator's reality often has very little to do with the audience's perception. And trust me, that's where things start getting really interesting.
And we see you over there sizing like the competition. Ready to find your new mission. Influence illustrating team. We gon' sprinkle on their respect. It's a tall order, better stand firm or run to your corner, wait your turn. Bring that A game, this ain't a scrimmage. Now you rapping more than an image. Then be on it, on it. Ain't no other way to say it. Then be on it, on it. You better come prepared. Then be on it, on it. You best not be scared. Then be on it, on it. Let me offer a little advice. Step up, she ain't playing nice. You swing slow, you might get hurt. She cut deep, drag you through the dirt. No denial, you outmatched. Wrap it in the head like snatch. Better keep moving, double the pace. Money on her, she gon' win that race. When it's over, when it's done, you still lose, but we call it one. The ask is hard, the fight is hard. So guard your heart, play that card. Then be on it, on it, on it. Ain't no other way to say it. Then be on it, on it, on it. You better come prepared. Then be on it, on it. You best not be scared. Then be on it, on it, on it. Yeah. Then be on it, on it, on it, on it, on it, on it, on it. Damn nation. Woo! Damn nation. Gotta have a plan, no matter where you stand. Do your best, homie. That's the test, that's the measure, that's the judge. No one wins every time, but keep victory in your mind. Ain't about the score you choose, it's how you win and how you lose. Paint that picture, chase that seed. What looks like luck is planet D. Destiny fights, stars on a line. That's when you rise, grind, redefine. Meet the monster, meet the hero, meet the villain. 0 to 0, slay the dragon, rescue the children. Characters built in the heat of the killing. Damnation, you dig? On it, no other way to say it. Then be on it, on it, on it. You better come prepared. Then be on it, on it, on it. You best not be scared. Then be on it, on it, on it. Yeah,
Don't be on it, on it, on it.
yeah. Don't be on it. Yeah, warm cookies coming in hot. Let's get it. Check the pulse, I'm the one who recalibrates rhythm. Sunken board spirit, board from algorithm. Put some up in baselines like space-time distortion. Quantum in my rhyme design, no need for reinforcement. Check your frequency, I coded in binary. Turn frequencies to fire light years ahead entirely. See, I'm Willa-made, but they call me warm cookies. I serve beats in the oven, not for rookies. Smoke from the system, take the transmission. I remake religion into digital conviction. Heart made of hardware, soul made of soul. A human in the matrix, rewiring control. Damnation on the free sway nation of sound. Turn thought in the thunder, shake the ground. Y'all played the game, I'll protect the board. Balls so precise, they can sharpen a sword, yeah. Cut through it, break a few my kindness for commercial person. Intent my kindness is currency, got level spent. Every lyric encrypted, every verb but she licks. Decoded by prophets who dream and remix. Dream and remix. I walk through distortion, my echo leaves scars and surrounds. Some galaxies, I'm birthing stars. You rap for applause, I rap to terraform. Make chaos aesthetic, make logic reborn. Nerve make the vision, but can't match the nerve. I've been verved till syntax curve. Jay said Hove did, I said she do too. Turn a mic to a weapon in a booth to a view of any measures of confession. Every take decision, I rhyme like architects. Trap religion, spit like the future. Got caught in my teeth, even silence afraid when I speak. They pray for a savior, I pray for a signal. What they funny tongue, never will physical. What the most sorry, so sorry, but welly. There ain't no reason to it, big hope is what it is. From like escaping, down to no ear, then cold. I never get the barbers cold. Judy, their life is concealed. So stop, gotta keep the phone on stop. Yeah.
One of the strangest things about creating something is realizing that eventually it stops belonging to you. Not legally, not financially, not physically, emotionally, philosophically, spiritually. If you want to go there, the moment you release a piece of art into the world, it begins living a life that you no longer control. And honestly, I think that's one of the hardest lessons for creators to learn, because we spend so much time building something, writing it, recording it, painting it, filming it, editing it, obsessing over every little detail. Then somebody experiences it for 30 seconds and walks away with an interpretation we never intended at first. That can feel frustrating. You want to explain, you want to clarify, you want to say, no, that's not what I meant. But eventually you realize something. What you meant is only one version of the story the audience brings. Their own story, their own memories, their own experiences, their own wounds, their own victories, their own reality. And once those things collide with your creation, something entirely new is born. A song isn't just what the songwriter wrote, it's what the listener hears. Think about that. You can write a song about heartbreak, and someone else hears hope. You write a song about freedom, and someone hears loneliness. You write a song about growing older, and someone hears inspiration. You write a song about one specific person, and somehow it becomes someone else's life story. How does that happen? Because perception is participating in the art. The listener isn't a spectator. They're a collaborator. They bring themselves into the experience. And the more universal the art becomes, the more interpretations it can hold. That's why some songs survive generations. That's why some books never disappear. That's why some films remain relevant decades later. Not because they have one meaning, because they have many. Enough room for different people to find different truths inside them, don't you know? I always find it funny when people ask artists to explain every lyric, explain every line, explain every hidden meaning, to explain every metaphor. Sometimes there isn't one. Sometimes there are 10. Sometimes the artist doesn't even fully understand what they were saying at the moment they created it. Creation is weird like that. You can discover things about yourself through your own work years later. You can listen to an old song and realize, oh wow, I didn't know that's what I was feeling. The subconscious is sneaky. It likes leaving clues, and art often becomes the evidence. Now let's take this a step further. What if perception is actually more powerful than reality? Not always, but sometimes. Think about a song you've loved for years. Maybe that song carried you through a difficult time. Maybe it reminds you of a person. Maybe it reminds you of a summer. Maybe it reminds you of a version of yourself that no longer exists. Now imagine the songwriter tells you, actually, that's not what the song is about. Does your connection disappear? Of course not. Your experience remains real. Your meaning remains valid. Your perception created value. And that's something remarkable. Because art is one of the few places where multiple realities can exist simultaneously. The creator's reality, the listener's reality, the critic's reality, the historian's reality, all existing at the same time. None completely wrong, none completely complete. Which brings me to music, and honestly, to why we're all here. I think music might be the most misunderstood art form on earth. People assume songs are about the lyrics. Sometimes they're not. People assume songs are about the artists. Sometimes they're not. People assume songs are confessions. Sometimes they're fiction. People assume songs are fiction. Sometimes they're confessions. People assume a happy melody means happiness and a sad melody means sadness. But music is rarely that simple. Music is emotional architecture. It's a place people visit, and every visitor experiences the room differently. That's why a song can have 10 million listeners and 10 million slightly different meanings. Same song, different realities, different perceptions. Now here's where this becomes important for creators, especially independent creators, especially people building things from nothing. You have to let go, not of quality, not of standards, not of effort. You have to let go of control, because once your creation enters the world, the audience becomes part of the process. You can guide perception, you can influence perception, you can shape perception, but you can never completely own it. And honestly, that's probably a good thing, because the moment art only means what the creator says it means, it stops being a conversation. It becomes a lecture, and nobody falls in love with a lecture. People fall in love with discovery. People fall in love with connection. People fall in love with finding pieces of themselves inside somebody else's work. That's the miracle, not the song. Not the painting, not the film, not the podcast. The miracle is the connection that happens afterward. The second life. The life that begins when the creator finally lets go. And speaking of ideas that refuse to die, next we're going to talk about philosophers. People who have somehow remained relevant for thousands of years. Because maybe immortality isn't about living forever. Maybe it's about leaving behind an idea strong enough that other people keep carrying it forward. And that is where perception and reality collide on a scale that's almost impossible to measure.
If you know, you know. Talk that. Talk that. If you know, if you know, if you know. If you had the chance to refine a whole culture, build a better case study, don't circle like a vulture. Dispense jewels that hit deeper than riches. Flip phrases clean, Mariana with the pitches. Cut that. Walk in, retire the opposition. One throw, whole game submission. Blaze the runway, high fashion drips. Photos of decadence, archival clips. Cloud level thoughts, elevation cadence. Heavy bottom rhythm, grounded in statements. I say to you all, prepare to be amazed. This ain't a quick fix, this layer, this complex. I come here to talk that talk, yeah, that talk. If you're ready to listen, we could walk that walk. Walk that, walk that, walk that. Memory stronger than fiction, nomenclature tight, locked in conviction. I said I came to talk that
know how to level the field, how to bury the echo. Hip to the game, manipulate sound, build from the dirt, then own the ground. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. Am I moving too fast? Sonic boom past the barrier. Knowledge with talent combined, that's the real carrier. Chasing endorsements, logos, deals, everything I lay down, infinitely real. So tell me, did you come to compromise? Take a breath before you realize money need manipulation, pyramid schemes. Stock climb high, but it's smoke in a dream. The rich get richer, the poor turn inward. House full of tension, can't trust your lover when the answer's right in front of you. See, education the key, but they sell you defeat. The evolution package, shiny and clean. Hope you stay lost, never intervene. I say to you all, prepare to be amazed. This ain't a quick fix, this layer, this complex. I come here to talk that talk, yeah, talk that talk. If you're ready to listen, we could walk that walk. Walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that. Memory stronger than fiction, nomenclature tight, like light and conviction. I said I came to talk that talk. Tell me if you really listen, listen more. Walk that walk. Page turner, money earner, bestseller, money earner, bestseller, money earner. Love got marketed, boxed and sold. Heart went digital, data control. Swipe right, affection, algorithm, lust. Built on attention, not built on trust. Currency, flirt, and emotional bids. Dowry and dopamine raised as kids. We learned desire through ads and screens, not through presence or what it means. Love became leverage, money to scale. One took the balance, one sets the bail. Prenups drafted before first kiss. Planning the exit, the foot, the risk. We say forever, price per hour. Dylan's got budgets, intimacy, power. She wants security, he want control. Both negotiating fractions of zones. Split down the middle, ledger romance. Every affection a calculated chance. Yeah. Talk that. Education mixing, replace with flex. Financial illiteracy, generational hex. They don't teach credit, but teach you to spend. Don't teach ownership, just how to pretend. Degrees in debt, but no equity sense. Working for titles instead of defense. Left under pressure, money in doubt. One breaks in where one lashes out. Arguments coded in bills unpaid. Silence louder than words we say. He chasing status, she chasing peace. Both chasing something, neither release. Condition scarcity, mindset loop. Divided we crumble, easier group. Truth in the open, hiding in plain. Knowledge is power, but power is pain. So we avoid it, laugh it away. Dancing distraction day after day. Till love feel foreign, money feel good, and both leave you empty. That's part of the job, but you knew that. I say to you all, prepare to be amazed. This ain't a quick fix, this layer, this complex. I come here to talk that talk, yeah, talk that talk. If you're ready to listen, we could walk that walk. Walk that, walk that, walk that, walk that. Memory stronger than fiction, nomenclature tight, like in conviction. I said I came to talk that talk. Tell me if you really listen, listen up. Walk that walk. Page turner, money printer, bestseller, money earner. If you know, if you know, if you know. Talk that. If you know, if you know, if you know.
Let's zoom out for a minute. Way out. Because one of the biggest traps human beings fall into is believing their experience is universal. We assume our reality is reality. We assume the world we know is the world. And honestly, how could we not? It's all we've experienced. Think about where you grew up. The streets, the weather, the food, the accents, the music, the neighborhoods, the people, the routines, the assumptions. At some point you probably thought that was normal, not your normal. Then one day you discover someone else's normal, and suddenly things get interesting. Because what feels ordinary to one person can feel extraordinary to another. This week, I found myself thinking about tourists, specifically tourists in Philadelphia. Now, if you've lived around Philadelphia long enough, certain things become background noise. You drive by Independence Hall. You drive by the Liberty Bell. You drive by historical landmarks. You get stuck in traffic. You look at construction. You complain about parking. It's just another Tuesday. But then you see visitors. People from another state, another country, another continent. And they're standing there, taking photographs, smiling, pointing, experiencing wonder. They're looking at something you've passed 100 times without thinking about it. For them, it's history. For you, it's an inconvenience. Neither perception is wrong, but neither perception is complete. And that's when I realized something. The value of something often changes, depending on distance. The closer we are to something, the more invisible it becomes. We stop seeing it, not because it changed, because we adapted. That's true of cities, it's true of relationships, it's true of opportunities, and it's definitely true of creativity. You know how many musicians would love to have a home studio? How many people would love to have access to recording software, a microphone, an internet connection, the ability to distribute music globally from their spare bedroom. Millions. Yet for many creators, those things become normal, expected routine. The miracle becomes furniture. And once something becomes furniture, you stop noticing it until someone from outside your reality points it out. Then suddenly you remember, oh yeah, this is actually pretty incredible. Now, let's take this a step further. Imagine two people. One never leaves their hometown. The other spends 30 years traveling the world. Which one understands reality better? Trick question. Neither. Because both have blind spots. The person who stayed might deeply understand one community, one culture, one way of life. The traveler might understand dozens of cultures, dozens of perspectives, dozens of ways of life. Both possess knowledge. Both lack knowledge. Both are looking at reality through a window, just different windows. And that's one of the reasons I love music. Music travels farther than people. A song written in Minneapolis can affect somebody in Tokyo. A melody created in Philadelphia can resonate with someone in Brazil. A lyric written in a bedroom can find a home halfway across the planet. Music doesn't care about geography. Music doesn't need a passport. Music ignores borders. And because of that, it becomes one of humanity's greatest empathy machines. For a few minutes, you get to experience someone else's reality, someone else's perception, someone else's story. And maybe that's why music matters so much. Not because it tells us who we are, because it reminds us that other people exist. 2. Now let's bring this back to something we've talked about before. Social media. The internet has done something remarkable. It has connected the world and isolated it at the same time. Think about that. You can communicate instantly with someone on the other side of the planet. Yet, many people now spend their days inside carefully curated information bubbles. Algorithms show us things we already agree with. People follow people who think like them. Communities reinforce existing beliefs. Eventually, perception becomes self-sustaining. The bubble feels like reality until something pops it. And when it pops, people are often shocked. Wait, other people think differently than I do. Yes, always have. Always will. The world is much bigger than any one perspective. Much bigger than any one ideology. Much bigger than any one experience. And honestly, that's good news. Because if reality was limited to what we already know, there'd be nothing left to discover. Nothing left to learn. Nothing left to explore. No new music. No new ideas. No new friendships. No new possibilities. The unknown is where growth lives. The unfamiliar is where curiosity lives. And curiosity might be one of the most valuable traits a creator can possess. Because the moment you believe you've figured everything out, you stop looking. The moment you stop looking, you stop learning. And the moment you stop learning, your perception hardens into certainty. That's dangerous territory for artists, for audiences, for civilizations, for all of us. So maybe the goal isn't to have the correct perception. Maybe the goal is to remain open to the possibility that your perception is incomplete. Because reality is always bigger than the window you're looking through. Always. Asterisk, asterisk, coming up next. We're going to talk about legacy. About Prince. About fame. About influence. And why the person the public sees is often completely different from the person doing the work behind the curtain. Because perception can turn human beings into myths. But reality usually looks a lot more like practice than magic.
If I told you that I believed in you and all the things you do, but you introduced me to your family. If I held your hand while he took a stand, spoke out for the wrong things, perhaps, would you marry me? If I took my time, didn't rush magic, believed that everything was greater than a trick, am I your best friend, your favorite chick? If I had all the money, would you find my jokes funny? Would you talk about me? Tell your friends, I just don't know. Sometimes love looks right from the side view. Sometimes two things can be true. What we gonna do now? We talked all the talk. We played all the games. Yeah, that's true. What we gonna do now? We walked the walk. We even changed the names. Can be true. If the sky was gonna fall and we gathered up all just to say we were here for them, but it didn't really matter. If there was no way out, but we believed without a doubt that emotions get confused, turning on power without a fuse. If like they said it snowed sometimes, you guessed my favorite color, could you read my mind? Would it be okay if I lied, only to say in another life I did decide we could be real before we feel? Is the ink sign on the deal? Why would we try? We couldn't even deny the concentration, the image that supplies all the dreams. Although it seems like you don't even like me, and I like ice cream. If we could do it again, I would never be your friend, I would never know you, experience the things you do. What we gonna do now? Talked all the talk. We played all the games. Yeah, that's true. What we gonna do now? We walked the walk. We even changed the names. Can be true. What we gonna do now? What we gonna do
This year marks 10 years since the passing of one of music's true giants, Prince. And even saying that feels strange, because some artists become so woven into culture that they stop feeling like ordinary human beings. They become symbols, ideas, legends, myths. And that's where perception starts doing what perception does best. It simplifies, it compresses, it edits. It turns a complicated human life into a highlight reel. The public remembers Purple Rain, the guitars, the performances, the outfits, the mystique, the confidence, the genius, the icon, the legend. But legends don't actually exist. People do. Human beings do. Workers do. Obsessives do. Craftsmen do. Creators do. The reality behind almost every legendary figure is usually much less glamorous than the perception. The reality is often repetition, practice, failure, revision, experimentation, more practice, more failure, more revision, more experimentation, over and over and over again, until eventually the world calls it talent. You know what's funny? People love outcomes. They celebrate outcomes. They study outcomes. But very few people fall in love with the process. And the process is where everything actually happens. The concert is 2 hours. The preparation is decades. The song is 4 minutes. The learning is a lifetime. The finished painting hangs on a wall. The artist stood in front of it for months. The public sees the result. The creator lives the process. And that's a massive difference. I think about this a lot when people talk about success. Because success is one of those words that sounds simple until you try to define it. What is success? Money, recognition, followers, streams, awards, influence, freedom, peace. The answer changes depending on who you ask. And that's because success itself is often a perception, not a reality. One person sees a musician with 10 million followers and assumes they're successful. Another sees the same musician and notices they're exhausted. One person sees a billionaire and sees achievement. Another sees stress. One person sees a viral creator. Another sees somebody trapped by the expectations of an audience. Same person. Different perceptions. Unknown reality. That's why I've always found fame fascinating. Not because I want it. Because I don't completely understand it. Think about it. A person wakes up one morning, brushes their teeth, gets dressed, has breakfast, worries about things, feels insecure about things, has good days and bad days, just like everybody else. Then they walk outside, and suddenly they're famous. The public sees an icon. The individual still sees themselves. And I imagine that's a strange thing to navigate. Because the bigger someone's public image becomes, the harder it becomes to separate perception from reality. People stop interacting with the person. They start interacting with the idea of the person, the character, the brand, the mythology. And eventually the mythology becomes larger than the human being who created it. Now here's where this gets interesting. I don't think Prince became Prince because he wanted to be famous. I think Prince became Prince because he couldn't stop creating. There's a difference. A huge difference. One path chases attention. The other chases curiosity. One asks, will people like this? The other asks, what happens if I try this? One is focused outward. The other is focused inward. And if you look at enough creators throughout history, you start noticing a pattern. The people who leave the deepest marks are often the people most obsessed with the work itself, not the applause. The work, the exploration, the possibility, the next idea, the next experiment, the next challenge, the next song, the next painting, the next invention, the next chapter. And honestly, that's comforting. Because it means the thing that matters most is also the thing you can control. The work, not the reaction, not the perception, the work. I think that's one of the reasons independent artists have an interesting advantage. When you're operating outside the spotlight, you get to discover whether you actually love creating, because there isn't always applause waiting on the other side. Sometimes there's silence. Sometimes there's 20 views. Sometimes there's 5 streams. Sometimes there's nobody paying attention at all. And that's where reality shows up. Because if you're still creating, even when nobody's watching, you've discovered something important. You've discovered your reason. And reasons are stronger than recognition. Recognition comes and goes. Algorithms change. Platforms change. Audiences change. Technology changes. But purpose tends to stick around. Which brings me back to Prince. And honestly, every creator we've ever celebrated. Maybe the greatest lesson isn't the fame. Maybe the greatest lesson isn't the success. Maybe the greatest lesson is the commitment. The willingness to keep showing up. To keep building. To keep experimenting. To keep creating. Long before the world notices. And long after the world starts paying attention. Because perception says greatness appears suddenly. Reality says greatness is usually under construction for a very long time. Most people simply arrive late enough to miss the scaffolding. And speaking of scaffolding, coming up next, we're going to talk about the biggest perception machine ever invented. Social media, algorithms, artificial intelligence, digital identities, and why the version of reality we experience online may be the most carefully constructed illusion in human history. Yet somehow, the human questions underneath it all remain exactly the same.
I know that sounds crazy, but there ain't no thing is free money. Bet your bottom dollar on my holy rollers. Loosen up that collar like it gets blurry lately. Sit your ass down if you're being lazy. Don't get in the way of progress. Part of my condition, I digress. But there ain't no thing. It's free money. Bet your bottom dollar. You can scream and holler. Throw your hands up higher. You're welcome to. But there ain't no thing. It's free money. Turn off the lights, I ain't tryna set a mood. Power company called again, set my payments overdue. You wanna record your voice, that's a line item on the sheet. Everybody loves the process till the invoice hits the street. You want the shiny new hotness, the overnight success. The platinum plate is shortcut without the years of mess. Creativity is free, that's the beautiful part. But somebody's buying cables and somebody's fixing hearts. You want a guaranteed banger wrapped up with a bow. Funny thing about guarantees, nobody really knows. Let me lay it down, I'm gonna tell ya. Let me turn it up, I'm gonna sell ya. Not a fantasy, not mythology, just reality. I know that sounds crazy, but there ain't no thing, it's free money. Bet your bottom dollar. Bet your bottom dollar. All my holy rollers. Loosen up that collar. Life gets blurry lately. Sit your ass down if you're being lazy. Don't get in the way of progress. Part of my condition, I digress. But there ain't no thing. It's free money. Bet your bottom dollar. You can scream and holler. Throw your hands up higher. You're welcome to. But there ain't no thing. It's free money. I'm charging at the doorway, this ain't no spectator sport. Bring an idea to the table, plug your amplifier in the core. Bring your paddles to the river. river, bring your hammer to the nail. Bring your dancing shoes, sweetheart, bring the story for the trail. Flowers blooming through the concrete, perfume hanging in the room. Everybody chasing springtime, trying to outrun the gloom. Say some reckless into the microphone, like guaranteed by midnight you won't be leaving alone. Funny how they gather when a brand new sound arrives. Everybody wants the harvest, nobody wants the drive. Give me back the keys, you don't wanna be a star. You just love the fantasy, not the mileage on the car. How do you wanna live? What's the thing we're fighting for? Everybody loves the spotlight till they sweep the studio floor. Give some love left side, give some love right. You're gonna have to funk something. We're turning it up tonight. Yeah, you heard me. You're gonna have to funk something. We're turning it up tonight. Funk something, funk something. Funk something, funk something. Let me lay it down, I'm gonna tell you. Let me turn it up, I'm gonna play for you. No conspiracy, no apology, just reality, yeah. I know that sounds crazy, but there ain't no thing as free money. Bet your bottom dollar, bet your bottom dollar. All my holy rollers, loosen up that collar. Life gets blurry lately. Sit your ass down if you're being lazy. Don't get in the way of progress. Pardon my condition, I digress. But there ain't no thing as free money. Get your bottom dollar. You can scream and holler. Throw your hands up higher. You're welcome to. But there ain't no thing as free money. Ideas are free, execution cost. Ideas are free, execution cost. Nothing's really free, nothing's really lost. Bet your bottom dollar. Bet your bottom dollar. No such thing as free money.
So here we are, 2026. A time when a person can record a song in their bedroom, distribute it worldwide, create artwork with artificial intelligence, generate video, clone a voice, build a website, launch a business, create a podcast, reach people on the other side of the planet, and do it all before lunch. If you stop and think about that for a minute, it's absolutely insane. Completely normal, but absolutely insane. And that's one of the greatest examples of perception versus reality you'll ever find. Because the technology arrived gradually, year by year, update by update, app by app, device by device. So we adapted, we got used to it, we normalized it. The miracle became ordinary. Again, that's a recurring theme today. The miracle becomes furniture. You stop noticing it until you zoom out. Then suddenly you realize you're carrying more computing power in your pocket than entire governments once possessed. And yet, despite all this technology, people remain remarkably unchanged. We still want love. We still want acceptance. We still want purpose. We still want belonging. We still want meaning. We still want to matter. Same humans, different tools. And that's where social media becomes fascinating. Because social media isn't really a technology platform. It's a perception platform. Think about it. Nobody posts their entire life. They post moments, snapshots, highlights, fragments, little pieces of reality. And our brains do something dangerous. They connect the fragments. We create a story. We fill in the missing pieces. We assume, we interpret, we imagine. And often, we imagine incorrectly. You see a musician posting photos and assume they're successful. You see a creator posting videos and assume they're thriving. You see someone smiling and assume they're happy. You see someone quiet and assume they're struggling. You see a follower count and assume importance. You see a view count and assume value. But reality rarely works that way. I've seen people with massive audiences feel completely disconnected. I've seen people with tiny audiences create tremendous impact. I've seen creators chase numbers, and I've seen creators chase purpose. Those are very different pursuits. One is trying to be seen, the other is trying to say something. And sometimes they're the same thing, but not always. Now let's talk about artificial intelligence for a minute. Because this is where people's perceptions really start going wild. Some people believe AI will save everything. Some people believe AI will destroy everything. Some people think it's magic. Some people think it's cheating. Some people think it's the future. Some people think it's the end. Maybe it's none of those things. Maybe it's just another tool, a very powerful tool, but still a tool. The camera didn't eliminate painting. Television didn't eliminate radio. The internet didn't eliminate books. Technology rarely replaces creativity. It usually changes the way creativity is expressed. And that's an important distinction. Because tools don't create meaning. People create meaning. Tools help deliver it. The microphone doesn't write the song. The guitar doesn't feel heartbreak. The software doesn't dream. The computer doesn't wonder about its place in the universe. People do, at least for now. And honestly, that's where the value still lives. In the human experience, in the perspective, in the story, in the curiosity, in the willingness to say something that didn't exist before. You know, I think about my grandmother sometimes. 94 years. Imagine that timeline. She witnessed radio becoming commonplace, television entering homes, the rise of commercial aviation, the space race, color television, personal computers, the internet, cell phones, smartphones, and artificial intelligence. An entire technological civilization unfolding within one lifetime. And I often wonder, which of those innovations felt the most unbelievable? Maybe not the internet. Maybe not AI. Maybe not smartphones. Maybe it was television. Maybe it was seeing moving images transmitted through the air. Because perception depends on where you're standing. Every generation thinks their moment is uniquely extraordinary. And in some ways, they're right. But every generation also underestimates how extraordinary previous generations were. Because history compresses reality. We reduce entire lifetimes into paragraphs, entire civilizations into chapters, entire people into headlines. The simplified version, the digestible version, the easy version. Reality is almost always more complicated. Now before we wrap this segment up, I want to leave you with something. A question. Actually, a challenge. The next time you see something online, pause. Before judging it, before celebrating it, before criticizing it, before envying it, ask yourself one simple question. What might I not be seeing? Because that's where reality usually lives. Not in the visible, in the invisible. Not in the presentation, in the process. Not in the outcome, in the journey. And maybe, just maybe, the same thing applies to ourselves. Maybe we're judging our own progress using incomplete information. Maybe we're looking at today's circumstances and assuming that's the whole story. Maybe we're standing over a garden that hasn't bloomed yet, mistaking silence for failure. And if that's true, then I think the closing thought for today's episode is already waiting for us. Because nothing teaches perception versus reality quite like a seed buried beneath the surface. Something that appears inactive, appears invisible, appears unchanged, while reality quietly goes to work underground. And that's exactly where we're headed next. One final thought before we go. A little reflection, a little perspective, and perhaps the most important lesson of the entire episode.
Don't tell me it's easy. Don't tell me it's only a dream. Are you awake? Because I don't even know anymore.
Why make music?
Willamette, think Tim. Don't tell me it's easy as a dream. Are you awake? I don't even know. Talk about the right place, the right time, the perfect collision of circumstance. Even though I knew in my mind I wrote this all yesterday. For real though, no joke, I ain't kidding. It's like this is what I do for a living. Started with innocent affection, flashback, a video connection, then a song. And don't forget the catalyst, a single detail, a tiny spark, a domino falling in the dark. I saw it all in my mind, no need to rewind. I flipped a new switch like a restart, like a reprieve. Like the universe looked over its shoulder and nodded back at me. Let me teach you how to let it be, how to release your grip without surrendering belief, how to stay honest and still be true. Still be true, still be true, still be true. You gotta live your life and be sure what you want. Keep it right there at the front of your mind. Call it love or whatever you want. It's attraction. I'm willing this all to be everything from the fragrance in the air to the motion of the sea. The aura radiating around you, was it designed by me? Cosmic cheat code delivered, it's attraction. I'm willing it all to be attraction. It may sound silly, probably so undefined, but I knew what was happening the entire time. From the moment I awakened to the first word spoken, this was always how it was gonna go. Every turn, every detour, every unexpected hello, everything harmonious, no need to let go. No need to wrestle the current, no need to argue with the flow. Pictures of the grand design, there's no need for me to share. Some things become weaker the moment they're exposed to air. I can indulge in the fruit, knowing it will always be there. Knowing abundance isn't borrowed, knowing possibility isn't rare. It's like a painting pictured more than a million times, like a lyrical melody fully equipped with the rhyme, like hearing tomorrow humming softly through the walls of tonight. Call it instinct, call it intuition, call it madness, call it precision. I don't need permission, I just pay attention. You gotta live your life and be sure of what you want. Keep it right there at the front of your mind. Call it love or whatever you want. It's attraction. I'm willing this all to be everything from the fragrance in the air to the motion of the sea. The aura radiating around you, was it designed by me? Cosmic cheat code delivered, it's attraction. I'm willing it all to be. Take me there. It was no surprise what your body pressed against mine, adding to my soul from another dimension, another place, another time. Even though I had to make it brief, it was only me showing off my belief, showing the universe I wasn't afraid to see. It's crazy cause I know what the future holds. We'll laugh then when the story is retold, when coincidence becomes evidence, when mystery becomes old. It's gonna be okay, for in your eyes I see that you know. Timeless for a brief moment in your eyes, I saw the glow, the recognition, the confirmation, the silent conversation. Take me there. You know what I'm talking about. Our energy was about to converge, two frequencies preparing to merge, but not in this timeline, no matter what the urge. Not this chapter, not this page. Some arrivals require patience, some miracles arrive with age. Take me there. You gotta live your life and be sure what you want. Keep it right there at the front of your mind. Call it faith, call it love, call it destiny if you want. It's attraction. I'm willing this all to be everything from the fragrance in the air to the motion of the sea. The aura radiating around you, Was it designed by me? Cosmic cheat code delivered. It's attraction. I'm willing it all to be attraction. Don't tell me it's easy. Don't tell me it's only a dream. I was awake the whole time. Attraction. I never wanted immortality, just a little more elasticity. Some girls pray, some girls glow, some just know what feeds the soul. Everybody plugged into something, late night cravings, chemical loving. Tiny bottles in designer bags, temporary halos wrapped in plastic. But I seen that glitter turn tragic, pretty little habits get savage. That's why I keep my natural sweet, slow, practical. Low sugar kisses, cold spoon religion. You touching my waistline like nutrition. No wisdom, that's why I get down. So don't you clown my yogurt and apple slices. That's my way to offset all my other devices. Did you hear me? You still get down. Don't laugh, you clown. My yogurt and apple slices, my little cure when I'm left with my own devices. Really keep me healthy. I ain't tryna peak too early, still moisturized and flirty. Vitamin glow on my skin, soft where I let you in. No smoke clouds in my lungs now, just deep breaths when the sun is down. You say my body language sinful, girl, that depends on mood I'm in though. Oh, creamy like midnight dessert, fresh fruit under your sweatshirt. You're tracing circles on my thigh like calorie counts don't apply. Biometric calculated, whole damn vibe upgraded. Heart rate elevated, slowly clean habits, but you still own me. That's why I get down. So don't you clown my yogurt and apple slices. That's my way to offset all my other devices. Did you hear me? You still get down. Don't laugh, you clown. My yogurt and apple slices, my little cure when I'm left with my own devices. See, I'm just trying to age gracefully, hydrate properly, keep my skin soft enough for somebody worth touching me. Supplements in the cabinet, honey tea before bed, stretching in the morning light, keeping dirty thoughts out my head. Well, mostly cause you walk by in that oversized hoodie, eating cherries at midnight, and suddenly my discipline weakens. You call it wellness, I call it foreplay with vitamins, matching probiotics and synchronized breathing. No crash diets, no chaos pills, just real food and somebody real. I wanna live long enough to laugh in your kitchen, dance barefoot in silence, and still look good doing dishes. Omega-3 confidence, magnesium patience, coconut lotion and emotional maintenance. Girl, your kiss tastes expensive like farmer's market intentions. Organic chemistry with very inappropriate tension. You make healthy look dangerous. That's why I get down, so don't you clown my yogurt and apple slices. That's my way to offset all my other devices. Did you hear me? You still get down. Don't laugh, you clown my yogurt and apple slices, my little cure when I'm left with my own devices.
Here we are, at the end of another conversation, another walk through the garden, another stroll through the park, another opportunity to look around and notice things we usually walk right past. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that life has a funny way of hiding its most important lessons in plain sight. Sometimes they're found in music, sometimes they're found in history, sometimes they're found in a conversation with a stranger, sometimes they're found in a photograph, sometimes they're found in a memory, and sometimes they're found while pulling weeds. You know, I've been thinking about gardens a lot lately. Not because gardens are perfect, but because gardens are honest. They don't care about your opinions. They don't care about your follower count. They don't care about your politics. They don't care about your credentials. They don't care about your reputation. They respond to effort, to patience, to consistency, to time. And perhaps most importantly, they respond to things happening beneath the surface. Things you cannot see, things you cannot measure, things you cannot immediately prove. A seed spends a long time looking like absolutely nothing. No applause, no recognition, no validation, no headlines, no notifications, no likes, no shares, no streams, nothing. At least that's the perception. Reality tells a different story. Reality says roots are forming. Reality says foundations are being built. Reality says systems are connecting. Reality says growth is already happening. You just haven't seen it break through the surface yet. And honestly, I think people are a lot like that. We spend so much time evaluating ourselves by what is visible. Visible success, visible progress, visible accomplishments, visible validation. But some of the most important growth you'll ever experience is completely invisible. Wisdom is invisible. Character is invisible. Resilience is invisible. Patience is invisible. Perspective is invisible. Healing is invisible. Until one day, something happens. A challenge arrives. A setback appears. A storm rolls through. And suddenly you discover roots you didn't even know were there. You discover strength you didn't know you had. You discover lessons that were quietly taking shape beneath the surface all along. That's reality. Not the performance. Not the perception. The roots, you know. When my grandmother was alive, she witnessed nearly a century of change. Entire worlds appeared and disappeared. Technology transformed civilization. Ideas evolved. Cultures shifted. Generations came and went. And yet I suspect the most important lessons remained remarkably unchanged. Be kind. Stay curious. Work hard. Love your family. Help when you can. Learn when you can. Laugh when you can. Forgive when you can. And remember that everybody is carrying something you cannot see. Everybody. The person smiling. The person struggling. The person succeeding. The person failing. The person creating. The person criticizing. The person leading. The person following. Everybody is carrying a reality hidden beneath a perception, which means maybe the greatest gift we can offer each other is grace. A little room, a little understanding, a little curiosity. Because we rarely know the whole story, and neither do they. Maybe that's why music matters. Maybe that's why art matters. Maybe that's why stories matter. Not because they give us answers, because they remind us we're not alone in the questions. And maybe that's enough. Maybe it always was. So if you've been working on something lately, a song, a business, a dream, a relationship, a recovery, a goal, a better version of yourself. Don't become discouraged if the visible results haven't arrived yet. Don't mistake silence for failure. Don't mistake patience for stagnation. Don't mistake hidden growth for no growth. The roots matter. In fact, the roots are everything. Because someday the flower gets the attention, the tree gets the admiration, the fruit gets the praise. But none of those things happen without the invisible work below. And that's true for gardens. That's true for music. That's true for businesses. That's true for families. That's true for people. As we wrap up episode 85. I'd like to leave you with one final thought. The next time you look at your life, the next time you look at somebody else's life, the next time you scroll past a post, hear a song, meet a stranger, or judge your own progress, pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I looking at reality, or am I looking at a perception of reality? Because the answer may change everything. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Thank you for sharing your time, your attention, your curiosity, and your journey. From all of us here at WDMN Media, from Think Tim, and from me, Willa May, thank you. Keep creating, keep learning, keep questioning, keep planting, keep growing, and remember, some of the most beautiful things in life are happening underground long before anyone sees them bloom. We'll see you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and if nothing else, keep making something out of nothing. And remember, think Tim, if nothing else, peace, and be wild.
Don't let him touch it. Don't let him touch it. Don't let him touch it. Just don't let him touch it. Straight from a shoebox, buried underneath old clothes and tax returns. A relic wrapped in faded flannel, like something sacred I refuse to burn. The second that I cracked the lid, the whole room changed temperature. I could smell wet grass and summer skin back before I learned composure. Back when I got lost on purpose just to feel like I belong. Back when silence felt much safer than admitting something's wrong. Do you remember giving it to me? You laughed and called it cheap, but I carried it like protection while the world was half asleep. Never let nobody hold it, never let them get too near. Everybody else saw nothing, I saw survival crystallized in there. I know it sounds irrational, borderline ceremonial, but some of us need tiny guides to make the dark feel manageable. Such a keepsake, I don't care if it's real. Experts call it counterfeit, but they don't know how it feels. Such a keepsake keeps my chaos in check, keeps me stitched together when my head becomes a wreck. Such a keepsake, like a lantern in the night, keeps my spine from folding in, keeps my spirit wired tight. Keeps me safe tonight, keep safe, keeps me safe tonight. I was hypersocial, strange as hell, smiling while detached, always at the center of the room, but emotionally mismatched. Everybody knew my first name, nobody knew my mind. I mastered being visible while disappearing all the time. I built whole empires in notebooks, constellations in my sleep. Fell in love with strange ideas most folks were too scared to keep. Then showed up soft and sarcastic with your storms tucked in your grin. Said you had your own locked drawer full of things you never let them in. You told me secrets have gravity, that memory leaves residue, and some people spend their whole damn lives trying to recover. make us collect fragments, because fragments don't abandon you. Such a keepsake, I don't care if it's real. Experts call it counterfeit, but they don't know how it feels. Such a keepsake keeps my chaos in check, keeps me stitched together when my head becomes a wreck. Such a keepsake, like a lantern in the night, keeps my spine from folding and keeps my spirit wired tight. I forget conversations, but remember the pattern on your sleeve. Forget what month it happened, but remember how your breathing sounded next to me. I lose entire afternoons inside fluorescent grocery aisles, but I remember every inch of the driveway where we first arrived. Sometimes my mind rearranges furniture inside rooms that never change. Faces blur like watercolor while emotions stay engraved. I'm not broken, just poorly archived, like somebody shuffled all my chapters and left the important pages highlighted. And somehow through all the static and distortion, that little object still finds me, like a compass that only points toward becoming. Maybe it was never magic. Maybe I supplied the glow. Maybe all we really are is what we secretly protect the most. Such a keepsake, I don't care if it's real. Experts call it counterfeit, but they don't know how it feels. Such a keepsake keeps my chaos in check, keeps me from unraveling when the future bends my neck. Such a keepsake, little artifact of light, keeps my heart from caving in, keeps me safe at night. Keeps me safe tonight. Keep safe. Keeps me safe tonight. Some things survive because nobody else understood them. And maybe that was the point.